So, it has been a while since I made a tip video for the forest, and more specifically several months since I made my most popular The Forest tip video. Now that the forest has left early access and is considered a full release, that means it is time for an updated tip video, and I thought what better topic to cover than tips for surviving your first few days in game. When you first fully wake up from the crash, you will be in the remainder of the tail section of the plane. You will find numerous items here, so be sure to check through it fully. There will also be a large number of suitcases outside that you can use the plane axe to open. Make sure you get all of these, as this will give you a substantial amount of supplies for your first few days, and you should be able to get your food and water meters topped off right away. As you start exploring, it can be a bit disorienting if you are new to the forest. A simple way to mark locations to make it easier to find your way back is to use a stick marker. These are cheap to build, requiring only 2 sticks, 2 rocks, and 1 piece of cloth. Once built, you can change the color of the marker cloth and it will be visible on your heads-up display while you are out exploring. When you come across one of the villages with numerous huts, it can be worrisome that you might be attacked if you hang around too long. Don't let this stop you from searching through all of the huts you can, as you will find many supplies such as ropes, flares, booze, and so forth. There are certain items in these villages that will respawn after you reload your game save, making the villages very easy places to farm certain supplies. If you're looking to do a lot of building during your playtime, then I would suggest heading to Cave 2 to get the modern axe early off. This will save you time when chopping down the many trees you will need for your builds. However, if you're not planning on doing bigger builds, then you may want to start with Cave 1 instead so you can get the katana. The katana can make it easier on you in the beginning when fighting against cannibals. You will encounter some cannibals when trying to get the modern axe, but you should be able to avoid contact with any cannibals in Cave 1 when trying to get the katana. There are 3 ranged weapons you can make early in the game. Once you have cloth and tape from the suitcases, simply grab a stick and make a slingshot. This can help against cannibals, but not by much. The slingshot is more useful early off when trying to catch rabbits, lizards, and other tasty animals. If you prefer something stronger, then snag some rope from one of the cannibal huts or off the sailboat and make a crafted bow by combining a stick, cloth, and a rope. Then to make arrows, you just need some feathers which can be collected from birds either by killing them or sometimes by scaring them off. If you're looking for the cheapest ranged weapon you can make, then just grab 2 sticks and craft a basic spear. This can be used to stab with your left mouse button and thrown by using the right. Once night falls for the first time or you enter your first cave, you will realize just how dark things can get in the forest. If you are having trouble seeing in the dark and would like to make it easier on yourself, head into the display settings and turn up the caves and night brightness setting. You can also try different color grading options under the graphics menu as well. These will be more for changing the overall color variations, and certain ones will help brighten things up even more. My personal preference is the blockbuster setting. In the forest, you cannot just open up the menu and save your game. You can only save with certain structures, like a temporary shelter or a bed. If you cannot find a good place to set up camp before your first night, you can make use of the plain tail section and place down a temporary shelter outside. Even better is if you can find your way to the coastline and along to the sailboat, where you will find supplies and a bed on board, providing you a place to sleep and save your game. Please note, if you do use the temporary shelter, make sure you save first before sleeping, as it will be destroyed after a single sleep session. If you don't want to rely on the plain wreckage or the boat in the beginning, then start by building a treehouse or alpine treehouse. Both of these will give you a place to sleep and save without needing a bed, and will get you up off the ground with minimal tree chopping. Against the cannibals, you should be perfectly safe in one of these, and both will give you space for adding things such as a drying rack or water collector as well. Whatever you decide to do for your first base, there are some important elements you will need to help you survive in the long run. You will want to have at least one drying rack to help the meat you collect stay edible longer. You will also want at least one, if not two, water collectors to keep yourself supplied with fresh water. Sticks are easy enough to find all around the world, and turtle shells are easy to obtain from some of the shoreline areas. My last tip is to watch for deer. Deer are a very good source of meat in the game, as they will provide 4 pieces of generic meat for each deer killed. More importantly, in the early game, gathering 2 pieces of deer skin combined with 1 rope will make a water skin. The water skin is essential in survival of the forest, as it lets you carry water with you and will make more efficient use of the water collected in your water collectors or boiled in the pot. So that is it for this set of tips. I'm sure you veteran players knew all of this already, which is why this video is more for the new players in the game. Hopefully those of you just getting started with the forest will be helped by some of these tips and have a more enjoyable experience while playing the game. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit that like button, leave me a comment below, and hit subscribe if you haven't done so already. I'm your host, Mr. Spicy, as always. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to keep it spicy this week, and I will see you in the next video.